Jump channel. Today we have a live discussion about the Darksaber from both the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and I want to know from you guys what you think about it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What are your basically your feedback on it? Because it's a really mixed bag from a lot of people about what they think about this lightsaber in general. And yes, that's what we're going to discuss today. So let me get everything ready for this discussion. And we're going to pop out this chat here. I'm going to make this smaller. Yeah, a little bit ghetto here. I just don't know how to fix that yet. I'm in IT, but I tried to fix it, but for some reason I couldn't manage to get the chat nicely stacking up in a different screen. So, here we go. Open the chat here. Sorry.
Mama sleep me?
Yep, now let's go. I need to go. Give me a kiss. Woo! Sorry. Need a night kiss for my son.
Baba, like not that you sleep me?
Yes. Okay, guys. So here we go. Now, I want to have a discussion with you guys, and for that, we're gonna take a look at the history of the Darksaber. We're gonna go through this wiki here, and basically, we're gonna discuss. This is, of course, an iteration of a Darksaber. It's not per se the Darksaber from either the Clone Wars or from the Star Wars Rebels TV show. But hey.
For generations, my ancestors fought proudly as warriors against the Jedi.
So, that is just a that's just to quickly show off my beautiful Kaizen Sabers Darksaber iteration with a stubby blade in there. I set the color of the blade to cyan, which is a light bluish color, which I absolutely love since the beautiful Saber Trio Skylar. I fell in love with the sky blue color. It's an absolutely beautiful color. I think not called sky blue. I think you guys call it cyan. Anyway, back to the topic. So I want you guys to have an open discussion with me today about the Darksaber. I want you to leave comments about what you think about the Darksaber, what you like about it, what you hate about it. Does it make sense because it's basically Star Wars lore? And we're gonna go over that. So I'm gonna invite some people to this live stream, because we want to have more people to come here with different opinions. So I'm gonna put this really quick on one or a few of the groups. And why is I don't see that? Sometimes Facebook is really annoying. Here we go. Darksaber, is it stupid or not? Live discussion. So I have to do that during the live stream. I know it's so annoying, but we just do that really quick because we want to have a well balanced amount of replies from different people. And I really think a lot of people are in a very mixed bag in terms of their opinion about Darksabers, and I want to explore that with you guys, because myself, I think the Darksaber has a fantastic place in the Star Wars lore. Of course, it has to be very special. I mean, a Darksaber is something that there should be only one of lightsaber. So let me put here one as well. Just put it in the big groups for now, and that should work. Okay, cool. So let's start off with a bit of the history of the lightsaber, so we keep it as accurate as possible in terms of the background history of the Darksaber. Now, I'm reading this from the Star Wars Rebels wiki. We can also check out another wiki if you guys find, hey, that is contradictionary information there. We should check out this wiki or this source of information about the Darksaber. But basically, this is, from what I understand, the history of the lightsaber. So it was basically constructed by a former Jedi, if not mistaken. His name was Terra Visla. which is this person. And so he was one of the Mandalorians, like, I don't know how many years ago, maybe thousands and thousands years before the Star Wars Rebels time area. So way before that, this lightsaber was crafted. And it fit a purpose that it was a very specific weapon to lead the Mandalorian and have a weapon that was more like a symbolic thing than anything. And symbolic because the Jedi were using lightsabers, and Mandalorian wanted to have probably a counterpart of the lightsaber that showed their might, their power as Mandalorian, and their equality of being able to craft their own lightsabers. And so this is the history here. I'm gonna read it up. My fantastic Dutch accent gonna make some stomach cringe probably, but hey, we're gonna go through it. So the Darksaber was an ancient black-bladed lightsaber. Now that's very interesting. We're gonna talk a little bit about where did this black crystal come from. Is it a black crystal? Is it a kyber crystal? What is it? What is driving a black blade? So we're gonna get into that as well. According to the legend, it was created by Terra Vizsla, which we only have this image of. Apparently he was like a Mandalorian, and so what happened was the very first Mandalorian ever inducted into the Jedi Order. So this was a Mandalorian clan member that was probably force sensitive. He ranked up within the Jedi Order. He crafted his own lightsabers, of course, as any Jedi does. And I think he derives from the Jedi Order, probably to support his brothers in the Mandalorian clans and whatnot. So this information, Nick, comes from this is from the Star Wars Rebels wiki. So if you guys say, oh, that's not a good source, let me know. We can check other sources, of course. So let me just put it here so you guys can see it. Now, the interesting thing is, so this was created during the Old Republic times, and so let me rephrase that. When this guy died, the weapon was kept in the Jedi Temple until the members of the House Vizsla stole it during the fall of the Old Republic. So this guy died. This guy Terra Vizsla died maybe early on during the Old Republic, during the time frame. So it was kept many years during the Old Republic in a Jedi Temple. Then for some reason House Vizsla stole it. I don't know why they actually stole it in particular from him. Maybe you guys have some more information on that, but we can talk about that. We can speculate about that. So he basically lost his lightsaber after his death. It was stolen by Clan Vizsla, and there it's where it's gonna have this whole new life as a symbol of leading the various clans within the Mandalorian hierarchy. So for some reason that lightsaber became then the symbol of leadership. I don't know why, because initially this was the weapon of a Jedi who was coincidentally a Mandalorian. I don't know how much influence this Terra Vizsla had within the Jedi Order. I think there's much more information that we need to know about Terra Vizsla that we don't know. Like, why was it so important, or why did well, where's my no where's my thing? Okay, here. Whew. So why does the House Vizsla steals it? What was the significance of Terra Vizsla? Anyway, it must be like it was in family blood, so they felt like this is our right, this is our family inheritance that shouldn't belong in a Jedi temple. I think at that point there was already a clash between the Mandalorians and the Jedi Order, or maybe at the beginning of times there was already a clash between the Jedi Order and the Mandalorians, and it was just a unique situation where this Terra Vizsla was a Jedi, and I would say as a Mandalorian I will frown on him, like he is part of the Jedi. We hate the Jedi. We are the Mandalorians. You're an outcast. So I don't understand why they stole back that lightsaber and treated that as a symbol of leadership. Because if this is my symbol of leadership, and it was basically wielded and created by somebody that was basically, let's say, if from their perspective was with the Nazis, with the German Nazis, why would I use that as a symbol of leadership? That's a little bit iffy, in my personal opinion. But so this is where I am flabbergasted. So at some point, as you know, if you saw Star Wars: The Clone Wars, we all know that this guy ended up with the lightsaber from Clan Vizsla, right? But we never got a clear answer why the heck did Darth Maul give up his power, his leadership over the Mandalorians, and basically became a hermit scrounging through an old Sith temple for some sort of a holocron to find Ezra Bridger there. So why would he give up the Darksaber and give it back basically to the Mandalorian? Like, why would he give that up? Like, that is never answered in my mind. I never saw an answer on that. I'm gonna read through the comments really shortly, but that's really weird to me. Like, why would Darth Maul give up that symbol of leadership over the Mandalorian? Because if you own the Darksaber, you basically own everything about Mandalorian, I would say, but weird. So anyway, that happened, right? And then at some point, we got Sabine getting her hands on the Darksaber, which is now in the hands of, I forgot her name. I think it's her sister. No, it's not her sister. One of the female one of the female Mandalorian now is owning the Darksaber and leading the Mandalorians. Now, I don't want to get into that detail yet, because a lot of people did not watch all the episodes of the new Star Wars Rebels season, so there will be a little bit of a spoiler alert, so I don't want to get into much of that. But it's a little bit strange what's going on with this whole Darksaber and the history of it, and why does it have it's driven in power black crystal, and why is there only one black crystal? It seems to be a very unique crystal, which is only been seen like once. And to make it more unique is, like, for example, this saber has a round blade, right? A lot of lightsabers have a round blade. Why this blade design is like an actual sword? Why no other lightsaber can be that? So, two questions. Why is this blade flat, and why does it have a black crystal? That is already two questions about the saber itself. Now, I see some comments, so let me read the comments and then we go through the rest of the documentation I have here. Fnatic said, I had the Pack Store Darksaber and really hate it, to say it straight. Let me get into those comments as well. I'm gonna purchase the empty Kaizen Darksaber too. Now, in that I come back into a moment, because there's a few options to buy Darksabers, so we're gonna explore that. Paul says, it's not my cup of tea. I only really collecting original trilogy hilts. Yeah, I can understand that. This is something unique and new that was introduced during the Clone Wars, and it brought towards now the Star Wars Rebel series. Now, I don't know if you guys know if it also make references in the Star Wars: The Old Republic game, SWTOR, because I don't think I recall hearing much about Darksabers in the game itself. So, kind of curious if it is reoccurrence during the Old Republic. I don't think so, because I think this saber, the Darksaber, does not have the amount of significance that it would be all over the place during the Old Republic, that everybody knew about the Darksaber and Tar Vizsla and his special lightsaber. I don't think so. I think it was quite toned down. So we got some more comments here. I bet the Darksaber crystal is just a lump of coal from Santa that the Mandalorians got from being a war-based race. From Santa Claus. Yeah, that might be the case. I think it's still weird, man. How can this? Where is this coming from? You have the canon is now a little bit, it's all over the place. So you had these kyber crystals for Sith with synthetic crystals basically, but now kyber crystals are just the natural crystals, and those only should come in green and blue and other light colors, and would be weaker in power compared to the Sith crystals, which were synthetically designed to be stronger, more powerful, more hot. And then this Darksaber, where does it fall in? Is it stronger than the kyber crystals? Is it stronger than the synthetic crystals? Is it weaker than any of the sabers? Is it just more like a symbolic weapon? Is it actually strong, or is it what? We don't know any of that information. Besides that, it has a black blade. Then Ajani says the Mandalorian stole it from a Jedi they killed. I actually don't think so, because Terra this is canon, I believe. This background story for Star Wars Rebels. They say that this guy, maybe he was killed. Maybe he was killed at some point, but that Darksaber was being safeguarded in a Jedi temple after the death of Tar Vizsla. So it was there for many years, apparently. And then the ancestors of Pre-Vizsla, they stole it, or the House of Vizsla stole it back when the Old Republic was crumbling. So I think only then they could get their hands on the Darksaber. I think before that was probably very, very well guarded by Jedi warriors or whatnot. Probably it had enough significance to the Jedi Order to safeguard this lightsaber for whatever reason. So they purposely kept it away from the Mandalorian. Why? We don't know. At least I don't know. Maybe you guys know. And then Royston said, yeah, Fanatic. That particular saber, as well as a few more backstory, were made by a cheap OEM wholesale manufacturer, renamed, and a few people thought they were junk. Yeah, I can understand that. It's a very inexpensive lightsaber. We'll go to the website shortly. Check it out. And Johnny says, this is a good one. Johnny says, Jedi are pretty much Nazis to the Mandalorians. Remember, Revan conquered their planet and killed their leader. Yeah, so I can totally understand. The more I grow with Star Wars, the more I resemble the Jedi Order, because they basically, like, no respect to people now watching, they're like the US, basically saying what you need to do, what is good for you, what is bad for you, and they have full control. Like in the Old Republic, they had Jedi everywhere, lots and lots of Jedi, and almost there were plenty of Sith as well, but they were in full control and safeguarding the galaxy. So it's a really interesting point of view, of course, and there's a whole bunch of theories about that the Jedi are actually the bad guys, and the more I think about it, the more I read into it, I think, yeah, that's absolutely true. I think you better can be on the Sith side, but yeah, maybe that's also one step too far. Nick Wood said, is there any Star Wars history book? Is there a Star Wars history book everyone goes by, or is this fan theory twisted into facts? Now, I think this is based on facts from the Holocron Keeper, which is the Holocron Keeper is actually somebody that works at LucasArts that actually keeps track on all lore and makes sure that all lore is actually legit and in line with the overall storylines. There's actually people in full-time pay with LucasArts to ensure that it's okay, that everything is fine, and they keep updating this kind of lore things. But there's a lot of lore elements that are just made up by either video games, comics, novels, and it's, yeah, as you said, it's all over the place. So that's why I want to discuss it with you guys, what you guys think. George said, hello, how you doing, George? Said Samurai Dark Arts, him and his brother Savage Opress battled Darth Sidious, and Savage Opress was killed and Darth Maul was taken away. Yeah, I know that, I remember the battle between Darth Sidious and Maul and his brother. I saw that his brother was killed, but I could not recall Maul was captured and taken away. But if that was the case, then wouldn't the Empire have the Darksaber and kept it in safeguard? I don't know. That's interesting. Palpatine said he had other plans for Maul, but the Clone Wars ended and they never showed what happened. Yeah, so that is like this open story with this whole Clone Wars debacle, because they cancelled the show too early, probably, and there was maybe a whole season or two still lined up to showcase what's gonna happen. So we never got the full picture. But I find that Darth Maul, whatever he had, the power with the Mandalorians, I don't know. I like, how was that given up and what happened afterwards? Either way. Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna go into much with the spoilers for Star Wars Rebels, because I see some people here in the chat, they didn't watch it yet, so we're not gonna too much into that. Now, Samurai said, when the Rebels picked up, it seemed to be slightly disconnected from the Clone Wars. Yeah, that's what I also have. Like that basically transfer of this Darksaber between different important characters, that could be done better. Like they could in Star Wars Rebels elaborate a little bit more about the fact that the Darksaber was wielded by Maul. They did something about it, but it was later on, I believe. They didn't do it from the start, so it was a little bit messy. So I want to know more from you guys, like about the Darksaber, the aesthetics, the history that we're now discussing and looking at so far. Is it something that you like? Is it something that you don't like? And does it have a place in Star Wars, the Darksaber? And what you guys feel like? What is next? Is it a Darksaber, and then we have a lightsaber? I mean, a light white. Yeah, we already have a light blade from Ahsoka Tano. Like every color has been already explored within the Star Wars canon universe now, and this is the scene that was just mentioned where his brother is killed and Maul will start to fight Palpatine. Of course, is no match, and we see, I think this is actually Terra Vizsla here in the background. I think this is art from Mandalorian art or something that Palpatine. Yeah, actually, that was actually in Mandalore, I believe. This whole battle. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I see. Let me just open this one. Let me guys know if this is any better. Just put on the voice meter. Sometimes it starts to crap out on me. I need to adjust the microphone a little bit, so sorry. Let me take a little bit space as well. Yeah, so the Darksaber, I feel like they went this far now. Now we have the Darksaber. The sky is the limit. Like they can come up with any type of new lightsaber, like a very special canon old lightsaber. I particularly like this scene here where Maul still has the Darksaber, but he already gave up the whole Mandalorian leadership. So I still don't get that whole point here. This is where I don't understand it. So we got some more comments. Let me also read it from you guys. I put my name down for the Nerf X Lab run. I love your dark side design. That's cool. Yeah, I will get into that in a second. It's hard to keep up with the stuff. That's true. And absolutely, Star Wars is like an echo of reality. Maul escaped his capture and took the saber as a trophy. Yeah. But yeah, okay, he took it as a trophy, but why doesn't he go back and continue to lead the Mandalorian? He could achieve much more with the Mandalorian under him against the Empire, which he hates so much, to make a dent against the Empire, than being solo again and being in the hiding of a old Sith temple. So, I don't know. Proton sabers, I liked the idea of. Yeah, but proton sabers, those were the predecessors. They were predating the lightsabers, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Set Samurai Dark Art Set. I think it's interesting to add other saber designs. Whether Legends is canon or not, we have to remember that the Star Wars universe is massive and not only limited to Sith and Jedi. Yeah, especially true. And now especially with the Star Wars Old Republic MMO, where this whole new faction came around. I forgot their name. They're all in white, and basically they're wielding yellow lightsabers, yellow color blades. Very interesting. Set Samurai said, I feel that at his heart Maul always felt like a Sith, whether he felt betrayed by the sky or not. True. I always felt as well like he is a true Sith, like a true Sith warrior. And of course he was born, I believe, from the Night Sisters, so he was born in that dark side space basically. Now I personally really like the Darksaber. I really like the Darksaber. I like that idea of having a one-off special lightsaber with a special crystal that is for a very, very specific reason made. And I think more than anything, it should be just more of a symbolic thing than being a badass, heavy duty all killing machine. It should be more like this is a symbolic weapon. It represents, in this case, the Mandalorian, and it represents that the Mandalorian can make lightsabers themselves and can outsmart or be better than the Jedi Order, which they don't like, and with all rights of course. So that is more of a symbolic thing, but just the whole fact about where did they source this whole dark black crystal from, and why, how? There's so many questions not being answered. The Darksaber is so cool. It must have his own movie. I really hope we can maybe see a spin-off movie of Tar Vizsla, where he's actually basically, you see him becoming a Jedi and having the struggles with his family in the Mandalorian, and maybe that is the begin time frame of the Mandalorian Wars, and he's gonna lead the Mandalorian Wars with his lightsaber, with the Darksaber basically, against the other clans. So let me Tar Vizsla. Is that correct? So this is the bro, and super interesting. So this is basically, I would say this is like a little bit like maybe a Revan, like a very unique happening within a time frame. It's just a very unique differentiation, different paths, and that's something I hope they're gonna explore more. Dave Nguyen says, what are the odds of it popping up in the main cinematic series? I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's canon, so of course it has all the rights to exist in the canon movies. Maybe there will be... Oh, no. Wait a moment. Wasn't in Rogue One a reference to the Darksaber? There was a reference during when they tried to get the Death Star plans from that scene where they're hanging, when they're hanging off the, what was it, they're hanging in that room where you have all these chips that contain the Death Star plans. Yeah, exactly. So it is even canon in the movies. It was mentioned in the movie, so I don't think it's gonna becoming an actual lightsaber or a Darksaber that we're going to see in the movie itself, but it has been mentioned. So even the Empire knew about it, and that's interesting. So was it maybe that Sidious not only wanted to capture or kill Maul and get that Darksaber back, or did I don't know, the Empire has spies everywhere, even with the Mandalorian, which now will make sense because a lot of clans were working with the Empire, that they indexed that lightsaber, and it's so significant. That's why the Jedi kept it so strongly secure till the Old Republic crumbled and the House of Isla could steal it back. It's interesting. It's interesting. I review both the part-time. I review both the Pacht Store Darksaber and this one from the Kaizen Sabers. So let me just show the website for the guys that are and girls who are interested in picking up their own Darksaber. So this is the one I got from Kaizen Sabers. They have tons and tons of options. So you can buy the kit empty, so just the empty hilt, and then you can basically do everything with it you want yourself, powder coating, etching, whatever you want. They can do it for you, or you can do it yourself. It's really amazing. And it's a really good saber, guys. It's a really good iteration of a Darksaber. I would say it's more convenient than the actual Darksaber, because as I said before, these are rounded edges, which is like an actual katana. With the actual Darksaber, it's all flat, which is not that great in the hand. It looks accurate, but it's not feeling so well in the hand. So yeah, I imagine you guys have to check them out. This is really nice. Really nice. And so basically we have another option as well. This from the Pacht Store. So this will be more aesthetically more close to what you see in either the Clone Wars or in Star Wars Rebels. So you have a whole bunch of options as well. So you can see this one is $300 for an empty kit, or $239 for a kit with a blade and some electronics and flash and clash in there. So it's quite nice. They have two options, whatever the budget you're looking for, of course. This particular one cost me around $500 US. But that also contains a Nano Biscotti version 4 or $600 US. I forgot what the price was. 6. I think maybe $600 US. I forgot what the price was. Sorry. Not cheap, but this is a really nice Darksaber iteration. Like, I'm super happy with this Darksaber iteration. And in fact, I like it so much that I have a hard time to not use it as my main saber for at home use. Like, I always have a saber on me when I'm at home, and then I in my mind I create a character which I associate with a lightsaber, and this is the Darksaber. Now, for me personally, I don't like the black saber hilt, the black blade. That is something that I want to just, for my character I would never have that. I just have the cyan / light blue color. I have a whole background story about this lightsaber, which we'll maybe do in a different video. I like to do role playing. Maybe you guys enjoy that as well later on. Either way, so we have these two options, right? We have two Darksabers on the market. We have Kaizen Sabers and we have the Pacht Store. And we have another one coming soon, hopefully. It's from Solo's Hold, and I'm gonna pre-order and get one myself too. And that will be an accurate saber that either from the Clone Wars or the Star Wars Rebel series. Now, I actually lean towards the one from the Star Wars Rebel series. I like this iteration of the Darksaber the most. Again, it has all the squared off it has sizes and whatnot. It's not a comfortable hilt, but I want to collect a whole array of Star Wars Rebels lightsabers. I love Star Wars Rebels, and I want to have high-end Star Wars Rebels custom lightsabers. That is my that's what I dig. The Clone Wars design is slightly different. You can see the Star Wars Rebels series doesn't have these like cooling rips on the back. It has this a different design here on the emitter. It's more of a cartoonized version, where this one is more, but I would say this one is more closer to what you see in the Clone Wars. So this is more of an accurate version of the Clone Wars, and I want to have an accurate version from Star Wars Rebels as well. So that's why I hope Solo's Hold is going to make that version. If you guys are interested in participating in the role, just go to this link, the Rebel Army Armory.com. Find Nerf X Lab, which is basically a collaboration group between Solo's Hold and some other companies. So you can find them, and already say what saber you want and roll. You don't have to pay yet, so maybe in due time they actually want to ask you to pay for it. And of course, if you have a Darksaber, one thing that's important, you want to have a blade that looks like a Darksaber. So that's something that's going to be provided by Ripper blades. So let me see. Ripper blades. They have a whole bunch of them. I don't know exactly which one. Here we go. Show me all the Ripper blades. Show me the Rippers. So where is it? A whole bunch of them. I think it's it's not this one. Where is it? Where is it? It's one of the earlier ones. I think it's this one. I think I just passed it. Which one is it? I think I just passed it. Yeah, I think it's this one. So this is like a very accurate, a very accurate Darksaber blade that makes your Darksaber looks like an actual Darksaber. Really important, of course. So, I do really like the Darksaber. I really dig it. I think it's a very, very interesting hilt design. Very interesting lore behind it. The sound is also amazing. This is of course one of the. I don't know who's the sound file maker, so props to the sound file maker because I really dig the sound
For
font.
generations, my ancestors fought proudly as warriors against the Jedi.
So I just like the way a Darksaber sounds. It has this very different type of swing sounds. It's really beautiful. It sounds so different. Sounds very high tech. It sounds very light at the same time, which I find very suiting for this design because it's very sleek. It's long. It's just it's a very unique lightsaber in every fashion, and that's really contributing. So that's why I just keep this sound font on it, because I think this is just a perfect matching sound font for that. Yeah, basically Darksaber iteration, and it's just beautiful. It's really beautiful. So I really looking forward to pick up the Solos holds as well. And I wondered, like, would there be more companies making Darksabers? Like, I think there's actually a very little amount of companies making them. So far we only have 2, with probability of a 3rd one. But beyond that, I didn't see anybody else coming with a Darksaber. Sometimes I see them pop up, but those are 3D printed products, which I think they're a little bit overpriced, because they ask $50-$60 US for a 3D printed prop, which is just static. Anyway, we got some more questions, so let's go through them. Ryo made 5 Darksabers. Oh, really? Is Dark Ryo, did he make 5 Darksabers? And those are from alloy, or those are from 3D printed material? Sorry. Check his... Okay. Johnny said, I refuse to watch Rebels again. What? What? Come on, man. Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels. You don't like it? I love it. I love Star Wars Rebels, because it's more of a cartoony kiddie style, and it's taking itself a little bit less serious, and I like it. It's a family, basically, of friends, and they come together because of various reasons, and they live and work from this awesome ghost ship, and I really love it. Anyway, Set Samurai Dark Art says, I wonder if Alter Sabers will jump on board. I would expect by now as well, right? I mean, Alter Sabers have all the means to put a very, very affordable Darksaber on the market. Hopefully it will not be this long, knowingly Alter Sabers. But man, that would be so good. Saberforge as well. Why they don't have a Darksaber on the market? Well, I think maybe it has to do with the fact that they have some issues with copyright, and Star Wars Rebels being now owned by Disney, where the Clone Wars were, I I think we're pre-Disney, right? Were the Clone Wars pre-Disney? I think so. Yeah, I think so. So maybe that has to do with like rights infringements or design infringements, because the Darksaber is the Darksaber. You cannot really say, oh, that's just a lightsaber, because the Darksaber is so unique within the lightsaber line that it's just very distinct. Maybe bigger companies, they cannot burn their fingers on it. I don't know, but I would love both Alto Sabers and Saber Force to come with their own version of the Darksaber. And I think many people are actually waiting for that. Now, in this live chat, I actually very happy that I'm not happy. If you're not agree and you're watching now, you say, I think the Darksaber is a stupid idea. It's shit. Shouldn't belong in Star Wars. It's just a silly, over the top thing. Let me know. We can be honest. We can just say whatever you want. Be nice, of course. But I think the majority here of the custom lightsaber fans that are now watching actually agree that the Darksaber is pretty cool, and that's kind of interesting and cool to see. Nick Wood says, I think Emery makes the saber to his size and specification. Yeah, maybe he has a massive black mamba, like a massive slong, like a big slong, and he's like looking at it, and then he's like, I need to make something that's equally as long, so let's make this saber. Maybe that, I don't know. Dark Jedi Order said, nah, I think it's a stroke of genius that invented the Darksaber. I think as well. I think it's an it's a very special occasion where somebody made that, where Terra Vizsla made that Darksaber, and basically nobody else could reproduce it. They don't understand the tech. It's a very special thing, and maybe he found it, or maybe something found him to make that Darksaber. Maybe some sort of force or whatever, dark side, light side, came to him and said, here's the crystal. It presented to him, you're gonna make this saber, and yeah, maybe something happened to them, and maybe that was the whole reason that the Darksaber came from a certain force. Maybe something like a Bendu or something. Nick says his hands make the saber hills looks like small. Like a small video. Not a penis reference, dude. Yeah, sure. Not a penis reference. Sure. Oh no. Ashoka's looking too naughty. Darksaber. Now, it's just why does this guy keep popping up with his with a fake Darksaber? Yeah, I think it's a beautiful design, and I think it's just really cool. It does look like a katana. It is a unique design hilt. It's nice, long. It has a lot of Japanese influences as well, so that's also one part of the appeal. Having a lightsaber that is quite heavily inspired by something that looks like some medieval Japanese samurai sword. So that is well very cool. I love this episode, by the way, where Kanan and Sabine were fighting, and she became very emotional, and she even got Kanan to basically submit. Now, I don't know if Kanan just submit because he just played weak, or he was actually being overruled by Sabine with the Darksaber. I love the effect from the Darksaber as well. It seems to have like some sort of static electricity interference or interaction with plasma lightsabers, or the actual lightsabers. So it seems like not a normal crystal as well. So it's not only lighting just the black matter, it actually has a different composition and has different it does do different things when in touch with other lightsabers. So really interesting. I would like to see a Darksaber maybe in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Maybe we can have Sabine Wren wielding the Darksaber in as a hero. That would be cool. That wouldn't be something I wanna unlock and play. Yeah, nonetheless, yeah, I think it's a really cool hilt design. It suits and fits Star Wars. I think it really fits in the Star Wars universe. It has its place, but it has to stay unique. It has to stay as a unique individual hilt that It's not reproduced here. There's no 5 other types of Darksabers from other people suddenly popping up, or oh, this is a no, instead of a Darksaber, this is a dual-bladed Darksaber, or this is a mace Darksaber, or this is a I don't know, like Neptunus, like a tri-saber pole or something. Like it has to stay within certain boundaries. It has to stay unique. So some more comments here. Seth Samurai says, I think it's time for the series to focus on some of the other sabers in the Star Wars universe and other Force sensitives beside the Jedi, Sith, and Skywalker family. Absolutely. Mandalorians. No, not Mandalorians. I mean the Revanites. I want to see the Revanites cult. I want the cult way after Revan is already dead. The cult having their own Force sensitivity developed like the Night Sisters. I want to see more of the Night Sisters. Very interesting. Like these Force witches. Like we can make a whole Star Wars movie about the Force witches within the Star Wars universe. Having the voodoo and all the Star Wars. Yeah, I love that. Give it. Show more than just, yeah, as you guys say, more than just the Jedi and Sith. Nick Wood says, wouldn't you agree, for example, if you see him hold the Argon V3, looks relatively accurate to size in his hand? Yeah, absolutely. He's a big guy. I think he's 2 meters plus. Yeah, he's definitely on the tall side. Same for Phil Isherwood from Saber Force as well. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it does look in proportion when he holds it in his hand. So yeah. I mean, I'm all for an Saber Force or Ultra Saber's Darksaber. I think that that's time for that, and I hope these guys gonna make it. I mean, Saber Force, heck, they said they're gonna release the new what is that, Ezra Bridger lightsaber. So if they're gonna do that, I mean, maybe they go full on the Star Wars Rebel series. Why not make the Inquisitor lightsabers, like the round one that can spin like a helicopter? Make those as well when you own it. Oh, we have the scammer. Still keep bothering me. Oh gosh, so annoying. I need to find a middle ground with that person, because I get really annoyed. God, go away. Either way, yeah. I mean, we need more Darksabers. We need more options. Give us options. Options. Of course, this is a really amazing one, but I mean, we need to have more options, and I think now Darkseid is going further in this route. They're gonna make more of these type of lightsabers. I think they're gonna stay more in this type of Japanese samurai sword type of dimensions, which I really encourage them to do, because that really sets them aside from other saber companies. Some more comments. I think a female Sith Lord in the movies will be a large leap forward in the series. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be honest, now there's a big push for multicultural feminism, so why not make a new female enemy? Well, maybe Rey will be it. Maybe Rey is the Sith Lord and the hero at the same time. Maybe at Disney they thought, well, we need to make the female the main character. Let's make her the hero and the enemy at the same time as well. We catch everything. At the same time. But I'm all ears for that. Yeah, if they're gonna do a Sith female Sith enemy, I would love to see Ventress. I love Ventress. I think Ventress is really sexy as a character in the Clone Wars series. I think she's really hot, personally. I'm weird, I know, but I think Ventress is like a lovely girlfriend. I wouldn't mind to have her as a girlfriend. Even with the bald head, I don't mind. Nick Wood says next they will come up with a lightsaber helicopter helmet. Yeah, the sky is the limit nowadays, guys. With Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars in general, they're gonna come with more and more crazy stuff, like for real. I don't know. Obi-Wan Kenobi said, different topic. Do you see the TSCCC as post about having a sale? What sale? Also, what kind of sale? I don't know. What sale they have? And also the release of the MHS version 2 and release of NeoPixel parts. No, I did not see. But I will check it out. Thanks for that tip. Nick Wood says, crush Rey's throat so she can put her on her suit. Yeah, and then she basically takes the skin of Rey and wears it herself, right? Oh my god. Dark Jedi or said, even with the bald head, I don't know about that. She's hot, man. She's hot. She is hot. Come on. Come on. I think she's hot. She's a badass chick. Badass. Look how badass she is. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm weird for sure. I'm a weirdo, but I think she's, yeah. I like her. I like her. Absolutely. And there was an actual female that does cosplay her in real life. And she looks fantastic in that cosplay. Probably not able to find her. But yeah. Can you just go away? But yeah, I think she's amazing looking. I really like Ventress. Yeah. Yeah, just beautiful. I don't know. Anyway, actually I think Ventress would be a good character for Darksaber. I mean, she is she's quite mysterious, and yeah, I like it. So what's the next question? What? Obi-Wan Kenobi says, custom Saber shop is probably gonna have a Black Friday sale. Actually, guys, most Saber companies will have Black Saber sales. So if you want to get something from Vader's Bolt or whatnot, be ready, because there will be an RTS. Saber Forts have their 50% as usual. Always the same. Every month they have a sale. Same with Alter Sabers. There's always a reason to have a sale. So yeah, they will have Black Friday sales as well. Sexiest Sith female is Darth Talon. Darth Talon. Oh yeah. She's pretty too. Yeah. I think for me personally, she's a little bit. She's a little bit too much for me. But I can see why. Yeah, I can definitely see why. I was actually surprised before I was searching for some stuff about Ahsoka Tano, and I was surprised how much Ahsoka Tano is being used for adult stuff. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, Nick would say Rey's Sith name could be Darth Mary Sue. Maybe she is. Well, Darth Mara. No, was it Mara? What's that? Darth Mara? The female Jedi, the wife of Luke Skywalker in the non-canon cartoon. Anyway, I start to rattle too much. So, guys, the Darksaber. I want to wrap it up with the Darksaber. I think the history of the Darksaber is super interesting. I think at the same time it's also very spotty. I think they just had a great idea. Let's make a saber that has a dark blade, and they just threw in some very light storyline. And they thought, well, we need to make a few episodes with the Mandalorian. So hey, let's make this a Mandalorian lightsaber or something. I feel the backstory of this whole Terra Vizsla and the Darksaber is a little bit weak, and that's a little bit unfortunate, but I really dig the Darksaber, the aesthetics, the looks, the sounds, the symbolism that it stands for, and I think it suits the Mandalorian clans to have somebody having this token of leadership and leading the Mandalorian clans. And yeah, I think that's a really cool symbol. It's like a little bit like Excalibur's sword or something. Like, the sword itself is just symbolic. It's just to show that you're uniting and leading and you bring a whole bunch of people to a bad time and good time, and let them persevere, overcome. I vote for a Darksaber giveaway. No, not gonna happen. Not this one, at least. Not this one. This is one of my babies. No, this one can't be given away. It might happen over time. I can never rule it out. I mean, if the channel grows fast enough, and as I said, all the revenue I get, I'm putting it back in buying lightsabers and do giveaways. So as I already said that I just recently got some new funding, so that will be reinvested in buying some new lightsabers. I'm still not out what kind of brand I'm gonna buy and do the giveaway for. Maybe Saber Force, Alta Sabers, maybe something else, maybe Saber Trio. So I'm still gonna make a decision on that. I might, instead of doing an Alta Sabers or Saber Force, maybe go for something like a Saber Trio or whatnot. Because these days there's so much more affordable brands like a Saber Trio, so I actually can get a lot more features for the same price. So I can actually provide you guys with a chance of winning a lightsaber with a soundboard, and RGB, which is of course way more interesting than Alta Saber stunt. Of course, whoever won the stunt saber so far, I know you guys are happy with it. Yeah. So anyway, Set Samurai Dark Art said, I understand many people say it can understand the Darksaber's place, but the Star Wars universe is massive. Yeah, absolutely, and I think that is absolutely true. I mean, it's an endless universe, and we definitely should not stare blind on just the few Jedi in the well-known universe that we know of, because at the same time, on the other end of the universe, there must be plenty other Force-sensitive people with maybe lightsabers, or maybe just Force-sensitive. Maybe they don't use lightsabers. They just kill each other with Force chokes and Force push and stuff like that. Like basically something like something that you would see in was that Kamehameha? Was that Goku? Dragon Ball Z, something like Dragon Ball Z, like super strong level 9000 Jedi's versus Sith. I wouldn't be surprised. I would love to see that. Anyway, whew. That was that was the live discussion about Darksabers today. So I hope you guys liked that little bit of a discussion here and there. So I just want to close it out. What do you guys want to see happening with the Darksaber in the future? Do you want to guys see it playing a more prominent role? And if yes, for what kind of characters, or what movies, what series? And which Saber company do you think makes the best Darksaber iteration at this moment? And I'm reading the comments. And I'm waiting for you guys. And then we're gonna wrap it up. Dragon Ball Z, thank you, Set Samurai. Remember, Sidious almost never used a saber. Absolutely, there's no need to use lightsaber. I think it's even for the Jedi and Sith. It's outside of the Old Republic. It's more of a symbolic belt hanger than anything. Thanks, Jedi Order. Appreciate it. Thanks guys, I hope you liked the video, and hopefully see you in the next one, where we're gonna have another live discussion. Let me know in the comments, even if you're not watching this live, let me know in the comments what you would want to have as an upcoming discussion, what you want to have us discuss. Interesting topics, please. That would be cool. Maybe a little bit of a heated conversation. People saying no, this, that, without killing each other, of course, but having it in a fun way. And we don't always have to agree with each other. We can have different opinions. And yeah, let me know in the comments what we're going to discuss next. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.